Welcome back to our channel US Coins World. Today, we're diving into the world of rare state quarter-dollar coins. Some of these could be worth a small fortune. If you've got quarters lying around, you won't want to miss this. Let's find out if you're sitting on hidden treasure. So let's continue our today's video on Top 1. Today we're diving deep into one of the most talked about and sought after coins in recent US history. It's small, shiny, and easily overlooked, but if you're lucky enough to find this little gem in your change, you could be holding something incredibly valuable. We're talking about the 2004 Wisconsin State Quarter. Now, you might be thinking, it's just a quarter, right? 25 cents. What's the big deal? Well, hang tight, because this isn't just any ordinary quarter. This coin has a secret, an error that transformed it from pocket change into a coin collector's dream. By the end of this video, you'll find out how this humble coin became worth tens of thousands of dollars. So grab your magnifying glass, because we're going on a treasure hunt through American history and coin minting mysteries. First, let's talk about the coin itself. The Wisconsin State Quarter was released in 2004 as part of the 50 State Quarters program, a program that ran from 1999 to 2008 and honored each of the 50 states with its own unique coin design. The Wisconsin Quarter features an ear of corn, a wheel of cheese, and a proud dairy cow, perfect symbols for a state known for its agriculture and dairy industry. But here's where things get really interesting. Not long after the Wisconsin Quarters were released into circulation, sharp-eyed collectors noticed something strange. There were 3 different versions of this coin, and 2 of them had something very unusual about the corn. On the normal version, the corn stalk appears as intended. But on some coins, an extra leaf can be seen protruding near the bottom of the ear of corn. This isn't part of the official design, it's what's known as a die error. And believe it or not, there are 2 different error varieties. The first one is known as the extra leaf low variety, where the additional leaf is curved downward, below the ear of corn. The second one is called the extra leaf high, where the mysterious leaf juts out a little higher up on the stalk. No one knows exactly how this happened. Some believe it was accidental, caused by damage or debris on the die. Others speculate it may have been deliberately altered at the mint. Either way, these extra leaf quarters were only minted in very limited quantities, and they were found almost exclusively in rolls of quarters distributed in the state of Wisconsin and a few nearby areas. The rarity of these error coins sent collectors into a frenzy. Suddenly, rolls of Wisconsin quarters were being torn open across the country, with everyone hoping to find that magical extra leaf. And why not? Because what's normally worth just 25 cents, could now be worth thousands. But what really makes these error quarters so valuable, it comes down to 3 things: rarity, condition, and demand. The extra leaf errors were produced in extremely limited numbers. Nobody knows exactly how many, but estimates suggest only a few thousand made it into circulation. That makes them rare. Now, add the fact that these coins are part of a popular series, the 50 State Quarters, and you've got strong collector demand. Finally, if you happen to find one in mint or uncirculated condition, the value can shoot even higher. Collectors love these kinds of anomalies. They tell a story. They represent a moment when the machine slipped, or maybe when a mint worker decided to have a little fun. Whatever the reason, these kinds of errors are like golden tickets in the coin world. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. You might be wondering, okay, but just how much are we talking here? How valuable can a tiny mistake on a 25-cent coin really be? Well, if you find a 2004 Wisconsin State Quarter with the extra leaf error in pristine condition, especially one graded by a top certification service, you could be looking at a value of $81,000. That's right. A single quarter. Worth $81,000. All because of one little extra leaf. So the next time you get change at the grocery store or crack open a roll of quarters from the bank, take a closer look. That plain-looking coin might just be a hidden treasure. Top 2. We're diving deep into a coin that's turning heads in the numismatic world, a tiny treasure that might just be hiding in your change jar. It's the Ohio State Quarter from 2002. Yes, you heard that right, a 25-cent piece that could be worth a small fortune. Now, what makes this coin so special? Is it just another commemorative quarter? Not quite. This one carries a story, one etched in metal, backed by historical pride, and, in some cases, misprints and minting anomalies that collectors are absolutely obsessed with. Let's rewind the clock to the year 2002, when the United States Mint released the Ohio State Quarter as part of the 50 State Quarters program. Ohio was the 17th state to join the Union, and this coin beautifully celebrates its rich contributions to America's history, especially in aviation. Front and center on the reverse of the coin, you'll notice something incredible, a tribute to Ohio's legendary claim as the birthplace of aviation pioneers. That's right, both Orville and Wilbur Wright, and even Neil Armstrong, the first man on the moon, all hailed from Ohio. The quarter features an astronaut floating near the Wright Flyer, symbolizing how Ohio's skies launched dreams that reached the stars. Now, while every Ohio State quarter carries that inspiring design, not all quarters are created equal. Some rare versions of this coin contain minting errors that send their value soaring. Let me break it down for you. Point 1: of the most sought-after errors is the double die, where parts of the design, especially the lettering or the astronaut's figure, appear to be stamped twice. This creates a ghost-like shadow effect that's highly noticeable under magnification. Then there are off-center strikes, where the image isn't properly aligned during minting. Imagine a coin where the astronaut or parts of the inscription are shifted far from their usual position. That kind of rarity. Collectors go wild for it, and don't forget the clipped planchet errors, where a part of the coin is literally missing, sliced off during the minting process. It sounds like a mistake, but for coin lovers, these imperfections are pure perfection. Let's not overlook the condition of the coin either. A pristine, uncirculated Ohio quarter with a brilliant shine and no signs of wear, what collectors call MS-67 or higher, can command a serious premium. But here's where it gets really exciting. Among these Ohio quarters, there exists an extremely rare variant, a combination of high-grade condition and a striking error, that fetched a jaw-dropping price at auction. Not just a couple $100. Not even a few thousand. This tiny 25-cent coin once sold for an astonishing $78,000, yes, you heard that right. A single quarter, worth more than a brand new luxury car. What does that mean for you? It means it's time to check your pocket change, your coin jars, maybe even that old drawer in your grandma's house. Because one of these rare coins could be hiding in plain sight, just waiting to be discovered. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting into the hobby, the Ohio 2002 State Quarter is a reminder that history and value can come in the smallest packages. It's not just about the money, it's about holding on to a story, a legacy, and maybe even a small slice of luck. Top 3: we're taking a closer look at a special quarter that many people overlook, the 2009 Guam State Quarter. At first glance, it might look like any other coin in your pocket. But what if I told you that one of these coins sold for a mind-blowing amount of money? Let's take a journey into what makes this coin so unique, so collectible, and in some rare cases, so incredibly valuable. In 2009, the United States Mint introduced the Guam Quarter as part of the District of Columbia and U.S. Territories Quarters program. This coin honors Guam's rich cultural identity and its role as an American territory in the Western Pacific. The design on the reverse of the coin features an outline of the island of Guam, a flying prow, a traditional sailing vessel used by the Chamorro people, and a latte stone, a symbol of strength and resilience. It's a beautiful nod to Guam's ancient heritage and modern connection to the United States. But here's where things get really interesting. While millions of these coins were minted, only a few carry mysterious and extremely rare errors that make them incredibly valuable to collectors around the world. So what kind of errors are we talking about? Let's start with the double die error. This happens when the coin is struck more than once with slight misalignment, causing letters or parts of the design, like the island outline or the ship, to appear blurry or shadowed. These are not just manufacturing flaws, they're unique fingerprints that make each coin with this error completely one of a kind. Another rare error is the off-center strike. Imagine seeing the island of Guam or the sailing prow shifted noticeably off from its usual position. When these misalignments occur, and especially if a large portion of the design is missing or misplaced, collectors pay very close attention. Then there's the die break, or what's often called a cut error. This is when a piece of the die actually breaks off, causing part of the coin's surface to have a raised, misshapen blob where details should be. On the Guam Quarter, this can sometimes appear over the island outline or near the inscriptions, and these types of coins are rare and highly sought after. Also, let's not forget about clipped planchet errors, where part of the coin looks like it's been sliced off in a crescent shape. Though accidental, these mistakes create incredibly unique variations that are practically impossible to replicate. Of course, rarity isn't the only factor that drives up value. The coin's condition plays a huge role. A Guam quarter that has never been in circulation, what collectors call mint state or MS condition, especially those graded MS 67 or higher, can already command impressive prices. Combine that pristine condition with one of the rare errors we just mentioned, and suddenly you're not looking at just any coin, you're looking at a jackpot. Now here's the part you've been waiting for. One of the rarest and most valuable Guam quarters ever discovered, a coin in brilliant uncirculated condition with a remarkable minting error, stunned collectors when it sold for an unbelievable amount. That tiny 25-cent coin ended up fetching a breathtaking $75,000. Yes, a simple coin. A quarter. Worth $75,000. So the next time you get change at the store, or you're digging through an old coin jar at home, pay close attention. Look for those little details, the island's shape, the inscriptions, the texture, the alignment. You never know. One of those coins could be a rare gem that changes your life. To every collector out there, new or seasoned, keep your eyes open and your magnifying glass handy. Because the world of coins is full of surprises, and sometimes, even a quarter can be worth more than a luxury car. Top 4. We're exploring one of the most fascinating and overlooked coins in modern American currency, the Perry's Victory and International Peace Memorial Quarter, released in 2013. It might look like just another quarter to the untrained eye, but behind its elegant design lies a story of history, honor, and, for a lucky few, a small fortune. Let's uncover what makes this coin so special and why collectors around the country are on a treasure hunt for it. Released as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, the Perry's Victory Quarter honors a defining moment in American history, the Battle of Lake Erie during the War of 1812. The monument depicted on the coin, located in Ohio, commemorates the bravery of Commodore Oliver Hazard Perry and celebrates lasting peace between nations. On the reverse side of the quarter, you'll see a beautifully detailed engraving of the towering memorial alongside a statue of Perry himself, a tribute not only to victory in war, but to peace that endures. But the real excitement? It's not just in the design, it's in the details, because not every Perry's Victory quarter is the same. While millions of these coins were struck at various U.S. mints, only a handful contain critical minting errors that send their value into the stratosphere. And those are the coins we're talking about today, the rare, the flawed, the valuable. Let's break down the types of errors that make some of these coins worth thousands of times their face value. First up, the double die error, one of the most coveted mistakes in the world of coin collecting. This occurs when the coin is struck twice, but slightly misaligned. You might notice this in the inscriptions, especially in the words, Perry's Victory, or around the edges of the statue and the memorial. If you see that ghostly doubling, it's time to get excited. Next, there's the off-center strike, a dramatic error where the coin design is misaligned from the center. Sometimes, part of the image or the text is cut off. The more off-center the strike, the rarer and more valuable the coin becomes, especially if the date is still fully visible. And then, we have die cracks and die chips, raised bumps or lines that appear where they shouldn't. These result from wear and tear on the minting dies. On the Perry's Victory quarter, these flaws can appear across Perry's figure, on the monument, or through the inscriptions, transforming a regular coin into a numismatic rarity. There's also the incredibly rare clipped planchet error. This is when part of the coin is actually missing, literally clipped during production. These crescent-shaped bites taken out of the coin make them visually stunning and extremely collectible, but here's the most important thing to remember: these rare errors don't need to be dramatic to be valuable. Even subtle misprints, when combined with exceptional condition, can make a coin incredibly sought after. Coins that have never entered circulation, called mint state coins, especially those graded MS 67 or higher, already command high prices. Add a rare error into the mix, and the result can be jaw-dropping. So now you're probably wondering, just how valuable can a Perry's Victory quarter be? Well, here comes the moment you've been waiting for. One extraordinary specimen, a Perry's Victory quarter struck with a rare minting error and preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition, Stunned the numismatic community when it sold for a staggering $73,000, yes. $73,000 for a 25-cent coin, and that's why this isn't just pocket change anymore, it's history in metal, and for a few lucky collectors, it's become the ultimate prize. So what should you do? Start checking your quarters. Look at the design. Look for misalignments, strange marks, missing details, doubling, or clipped edges. Pull out that magnifying glass, because treasure is often hiding in plain sight. Whether you're a lifelong coin enthusiast or just getting into the hobby, the Perry's Victory Quarter is a thrilling reminder that modern coins can still surprise us. Top 5. We're unlocking the hidden story behind one of the most captivating coins in the 50 State Quarters program, the 2006 Nebraska State Quarter. This coin isn't just about history. It's about mystery, minting mistakes, and jaw-dropping value. So coin lovers, collectors, and curious minds, listen carefully, because you just might discover that a fortune has been hiding in plain sight. Let's travel back to 2006, when the United States Mint released the Nebraska Quarter, the 37th release in the State Quarter series. This particular coin pays tribute to Nebraska's pioneering past and its vast, sweeping landscapes. Now take a close look at the design, it's breathtaking. You'll see a covered wagon pulled by oxen making its way west across the historic Oregon Trail. In the distance stands Chimney Rock, one of Nebraska's most famous landmarks and a symbol of the journey and the struggle of early American settlers. It's not just a coin, it's a window into America's expansion across the frontier, but beyond the beautiful imagery and the rich symbolism, some Nebraska quarters hide a secret. A very valuable secret. While millions of these quarters were minted for circulation, only a select few feature rare errors, and those errors are what make this coin a potential treasure. Let's talk about some of the mistakes that turned this regular coin into a high-stakes collectible. First, there's the legendary double die error. This happens when the coin is struck more than once with slight misalignment between strikes. You'll usually notice doubling in the text, such as Nebraska, 1867, or even along the fine details of the oxen or the wagon wheels. This error is instantly recognizable to experienced collectors, and incredibly desirable. Another striking variety is the off-center strike. This is when the coin is not properly centered during minting, causing part of the design to be pushed off the edge. When the date or inscriptions are still visible despite the misalignment, these quarters become highly sought after. Then there's the clipped planchet error, a dramatic flaw where a piece of the coin is literally missing due to a faulty blank. These can create crescent-shaped gaps, making the coin look like it's been bitten or sliced. Far from being worthless, these clipped coins are incredibly rare and valuable. Collectors also look out for die cracks and cuts, raised, misshapen lines or blobs of metal caused by a damaged or broken die. These can appear on chimney rock, the wagon wheels, or even along the rim of the coin. Each one is different, and that uniqueness makes them even more collectible. Now, rarity is only part of the story. The other major factor that makes a Nebraska quarter valuable is its condition. Coins that have never been circulated, known as mint state coins, are the crown jewels of any collection. And if that uncirculated coin also happens to have one of the rare minting errors we've talked about, that's when the value truly skyrockets. So how high can the value go? Well, in one stunning case, a Nebraska quarter featuring an extremely rare minting error, preserved in perfect mint state condition, was sold to a private collector for an absolutely staggering amount. Are you ready for this? That little 25-cent coin sold for an incredible $70,000, yes. $70,000 for a quarter, and just think, it could have been sitting unnoticed in someone's change jar. Tossed in a drawer, or dropped under a car seat. That's why coin collecting is so thrilling. It's not just about money, it's about history, craftsmanship, and the hunt. The Nebraska 2006 quarter is a shining example of how something so ordinary can turn out to be truly extraordinary. So the next time you get change at the grocery store or sort through an old coin collection, take a closer look. You might just be holding a fortune and not even realize it. Thanks for watching, and if you found this story as fascinating as we did, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing coin discoveries. Who knows? The next great treasure might be hiding in your pocket. Happy collecting, and never stop searching, because history and hidden value often come in the smallest of forms.